So I don't. Should I say hello every time I do this?
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
hello, I'm here. It seems.
Come with your catchphrase.
Yeah, we need. I need a catchphrase later. Later, I'll have some kind of catchphrase. Uh, One thing I want to talk about is his captain's draft league, bro. Talked about before. We
Yep.
need people to sign up. Not all you cool people above a legend. We need legend zero and below to sign up. We need bad Dota players.
Yeah, it's been shocking. We thought the uh, higher MMR guys would be harder to find, but they've come out in droves. We're struggling to get the lower tier guys. So
It's
yeah, Legend Zero and below, sign
I
up.
I need you so my team is competitive because I don't want to get forced into the upper bracket because that will be bad news. I don't need to be playing divines here, boys and girls. What is my rank? I finally just made like archons.
Oh, you're an
I
Archon now,
I'm an
Tim?
archon now. I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I don't want to be playing these fucking divines. It's not cool.
I hear you, man. Yeah, you don't
we
want to be Crusader, man. It's almost as bad as being Herald.
It was. I felt good there. It felt easy. Look at our. I'll have to show you my. I think my. I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, like this Crusader thing's felt good, man. Like there's a lot of wins here. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Support, support for life.
There's
It
not.
is funny.
There's
Support. Like being a good support seems to have like a much higher impact now than it ever has. One
really.
thing I've noticed. Yeah,
Oh.
like I can always tell like games when I have a good support player,
Uh huh.
like hugely different than when I have games of, support players that are essentially useless.
They games where you feel like you do a really good job supporting usually lost. Like this Vengeful Spirit, I was light. I was just great. I was tearing up the whole fucking map for the first 20 minutes. And my team's like took all the tier 2s and then my team reverts to they have a 5 core setup, a 5 carry setup on the other team, and then they revert to farming. They just infinitely farmed the
Yeah,
rest of for the next 10 minutes and then we got slaughtered. We were
yeah.
like, it was like a 14-0 lead, the gold advantage. We were probably 6 to 10k already ahead, and they just didn't want to push. They were happy. They're like, I want to buy my items. I have a Dragon Knight. I have a bunch of slow farmers. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
And then games I do bad, where I feel I do really bad supporting, sometimes we just stomp. So I don't know if I agree with your opinion. Maybe it's a perspective thing, but man, I don't
No,
know.
I just had a game playing Sand King support,
Yeah.
and like the only like all three of the lanes on my team were being lost, and so I was rotating around constantly. And
Uh
like
huh.
between me and the disruptor, like the only reason we ended up coming back to the mid game was because we had like mitigated enough of the lane damage that our cores could come back.
That's 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 cool.
Like
Yeah.
Like it was clearly like if the disruptor and I hadn't been making the moves we had been making, like the game was over. Would have been lost easy. I mean, because like at one point the Shadow Fiend was 4 levels, 4 or 5
Okay.
levels ahead of the mid invoker.
Ooh. That's ooh.
It was
Invoker never needs to be
brutal.
behind. Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah, dude, not good. Not a fun game. Anyway, what are we
Yep.
here to talk about?
Oh well, they need to join lower MM Legend Zero and below needs to create teams. I'm gonna talk to the Trench League today. I'm gonna send a message out.
Yeah,
We need players, especially from Trench. I need he probably don't care as much as I do. I care because I want to have teams to compete against. I think there's only 3 or 4 of us right now, and sign up
there's
ends
four.
when.
There's 4 teams officially.
Okay.
There was another team that signed up that I think were in the same bracket, but they didn't give me the correct information, so I mean, I messaged them about it, but they haven't gotten back to me. So we'll see if they get back to me in time.
They better get back to you. When's the deadline?
April 8th.
April 8th. What's today? The 6th.
6th. So
Okay.
2 days.
Sign up. All right. You had a cool idea that I was playing a game with you. You and your brother were talking about some kind of radio thing.
Yeah. So my brother and I, so we're always talking about different ideas for esports, especially. And yeah, so we were talking the other day, and he brought up, he's like, I always listen. I typically, like, what I like to do is I just like to listen to Dota when I'm in the car or whatever, right? Like he doesn't actually like look at the video because obviously it's a little dangerous when you're driving, but
Yeah.
but he just likes to listen to it. And he's like, I don't really see too many like I don't see any platforms really out there that have a good audio only option. Like Twitch has its own audio thing, but it doesn't seem to work very well. So yeah, we were just talking. We're like, yeah, maybe that's something we should look into. So for me, I was just looking at it from like my perspective of like, I don't think it's. I'm trying to like grasp, like, because for me, I like Dota especially is like highly visual.
Yeah.
Like there's good casters that they can sort of paint the picture as they talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like OD Pixel is very good at that. Like he's very descriptive when he calls team fights versus like Grant, who sort of just lets the action unfold.
Okay.
And like he'll do, he does play by play, but it's not like every micro action. It's just like, throughout this, throughout that, and he sort of like lets it happen. It's not every movement.
Yeah.
Necessarily, which I'm not saying it's a bad style. It's just that's his style, right? So for some of like for some of these things, like it's definitely I'd say it's it wouldn't translate very well to like an audio only setup. So for me, I was like, well, I don't know how much use I would get out of that. But then I was thinking, there for any traditional sport, right? Like thinking football, baseball, like
Mm-hmm.
even like, and some of those translate a bit better, but every one of those has like a radio component to it, right? So there must be an audience. There must be a group of people that like to just listen to games, and there's no reason that esports can't be the same. Like even because like it's not like even as complex as it is, football is just as complex. Soccer, is just as complex. So I think it's definitely something that I think is would have value for the community.
I agree.
So
I
like I
listen
said, there's
to it.
really not many options out there that we've been
Mm-hmm.
able to find for it.
I mean, I've done the TI and some other big games going on. Just having to drive, sometimes for a few hours or something, and wanting to kind of hear how it goes and cheer on the team. So I put on the Twitch feed, which because it's video,
Mm-hmm.
you can select it to be audio only, but it's still heavy, and it doesn't need to be that heavy, so it goes in and out a lot more often
Yeah,
than a radio signal would.
yeah, because I think it's still encoding the video. It's just not showing the video, right?
I guess I don't know how it works, but it doesn't seem to do that because if I pull up my MLB app and I start listening to a baseball game, I get it stays with me. So they
Yeah.
do a lot. They at least do a lot better job of handling the radio part for sure.
So do you think is it something for you that like could you see value if there was a service for that?
Yeah, I'd use it.
Now, would you want it piggybacked, like, so like basically taking the cast of like say Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And just basically rebroadcasting that, or would you want to hear like a certain type of broadcaster for that content, right? Like a more
It's hard because
More using more descriptive language, right, than just
yeah,
like your typical casting.
that's what you would honestly want that. I mean, it's like so I'm big on baseball games. I love 700 WW listening to Cincinnati Reds in the States.
Yep.
And it's so much you can't really listen to the TV broadcast and drive. Plus I've grown up with those guys, the radio announcers, so it's like a comfort food
Yeah, I
to
hear you.
listen to my hometown team and them talk, whether or not we're absolutely horrible this year and will be for a while, but I still I still tune in and I still listen. So I'm devoted to those announcers, which is kind of cool. And I think if a team had its own, I mean, we're talking bigger money. I guess
Yep.
esports probably makes more money than a baseball team does. One esports team like Liquid or something like that.
Yeah, it depends on the team, but yeah, I mean, some of these teams are making significant amounts of money,
Yeah,
but they're also their operating expenses are quite high.
yeah,
So it's yeah, it's yeah, but yeah, either way, they are making a lot of money. I mean, I'm probably not on the par with normal
okay,
sports, but yeah, okay, so yes, I think it's something we definitely want to explore
yeah. I think
further.
something's better than nothing. And right now well, right now there's something, but it's just not. It's pretty bad to what they got going on. I really like the concept and idea. How would you guys, maybe you work with Twitch to do it or something like that? Um, that
Yeah,
would be amazing.
I think we would have to. I don't think, like you said, yeah, I don't. There's no way. I don't think we can just rebroadcast basically the audio portion on our
Hmm.
platform because I just don't think. I mean, it's probably a lot of legal things we'd be running into there.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'd want to have dedicated casters, but we'd still probably need like Twitch or some other, YouTube streaming or even Facebook now, and basically watch. You'd have to have them watch that and call the games, or just have them be in game and then call the games or something like that. So,
I got you.
well, probably in game actually. Now that I think about it, because it's you can't. Yeah, I don't know how that would work, right? Because you're technically not allowed to use the content in your stream. Like if you were streaming, like so, say you were streaming a major from PGL,
Yeah,
you couldn't just use that video, right? You couldn't just go in and say, I'm going to use that directed camera and show it on your stream. But I wonder about the using it and then just commentating it through audio only.
that
I don't
it
know. It
might be
might be a mute.
possible.
Yeah, it might be a mute point anyway. But
Hmm. Yeah, it might be. I think anything it was good. I think I'd assume a lot of people do that. A lot of people listen to YouTube videos, um, in their
yeah,
car, which is amazing to me. It's an unbelievable amount of people listen to their YouTube videos while
number
driving.
oh excuse me, number one music streaming service.
Is YouTube?
Yeah,
Huh. Man, they're giant. This
yeah,
this
because it's
platform's an
all.
absolute beast.
But most everyone has YouTube account at this point, and it's not it doesn't cost anything to stream those videos. So
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it's makes a lot of sense. I had no idea, but then because it was a little bit, for you and I at least, it was a little bit beyond me as far as like I didn't really grow up watching YouTube, so. But now
Yeah.
all these people have, and so it's a little different for them.
Yeah. I didn't really start any YouTube watching besides trailers until like a few years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was just my movie trailer spot, and after that, I kind of I didn't really care about it. I
Okay.
don't know why. I guess because I was so much into when I can't after sitting behind a desk for 12 hours pushing pixels around. I just needed a non-video break when I came home, so I just didn't want to see a screen.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I can understand that. Yeah.
no more TV, period. No more glowing ball or
Yeah.
glowing light.
That makes sense.
But I can I'm gonna show the Phoenix trick. Hopefully it works. Oh, the Arcana came out. Were you excited for that?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, like as I said to other people I was talking to about that,
Yeah.
I don't see what it makes this $35. Like, I see no difference now between Arcanas and typical immortal items that you get during TI. Like,
Oh, interesting.
all the same particle effects are there. You get like little, ability modifiers, stuff like that. Like right now I'm looking at my Elder Titan, right? Like,
Yeah.
his immortal, so he's got the immortal, the bellows of creation, right? Which is the little backpack thing,
Okay.
right? And it has this really cool effect when you do his Echo Stomp. So, like I said, I don't really know what is it that makes that $35.
It's well, yeah. I mean, as an artist side, there's definitely time involved in it, and hopefully the artist. I don't know how much they make or if they make anything off of it. It's cool if you're into it, I guess.
It is cool.
You just say
I
what
don't
what
agree.
is a good price is a better question, I think, for this.
Make it $5. Just like any other immortal, basically. Which actually, they're even cheaper. But make it the same as any other treasure. I mean, let's look at the store, right? You got all your typical treasures are like $2.50 to $5. Make it the same as that. I mean, like,
I see that.
I don't know. Just $35 just is like,
Good idea.
I don't know.
Too
Seems
much.
like a lot.
It is a lot of money. It's like buying another video game, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, for Pudge players, sure.
Yeah.
If you're into Pudge, then you probably don't care. You'll pay whatever, right? But
Yeah, the CM one when that came out, that was an Arcana too, right? Crystal
Yeah.
Maidens.
yeah, Crystal Maidens. Yep.
I loved it, and I still didn't buy it, just because it's a lot of money for a graphic effect. But
Yeah, but see, at that
$5
time-
or $10, I would have bought that at the time.
Yeah. So, like, but at the time, right? That was like a novel thing to have all these particle effects, and that was a cool Arcana. But again, what now? Because they've now offered these Arcana, like they've offered all these particle effects for all the immortals during TIs. It's like, what's the differentiator? I guess is what I'm saying. Is like what really is what makes this different than any other particle effect item you can get for Pudge. You even get, like, right now you have, like, he's got items like for the rot, right?
Yeah.
Affects how the rot looks, gives you some cool particle effects there. Like, I don't know. I don't think you're getting the value like you used to out of Arcanas. I think they've sort of superseded the value by
Being too good at it.
these immortal items that they offer.
Okay.
So I think it's cool. It's definitely a cool item, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I think it's cool to look at and everything. But what's the
advantage or the take out of it?
what's the $35 value? To me, because they set, like I said, because they set this sort of value in my mind with the immortals, and then they're coming back and like, here's an item that's basically an immortal, and but you have to pay $35 for this. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
And a bunch of people will. I'm sure they've made a ton of money off of it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
All right, so I got the Phoenix up on my screen. This
Okay.
is the cheese, boys and girls. I assume they will fix this because I haven't seen a pro do it yet. I'm sure they are doing it. You do your Phoenix, you do your Icarus dive, and then as soon as you start it, you can pick where your Meteor hammer goes along the path, and it will drop it anywhere along that path as long as you do it before you get there. Is the summary. So I hopefully I didn't add the super long Icarus dive. No, good. So I want to put it like, and then it channels it, and I'm like safe. So I don't know how a pro's not doing that right now, because you can dive bomb their base from basically 2 screens away with the Icarus super dive, nuke it, be in and out if the back door's down, and it takes a crap load of damage.
Yeah, I think it's the I think pros aren't doing it because Phoenix is just a really bad support.
Oh no, hating on my Phoenix. Yeah, in nature he or she's probably a core.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. So Phoenix is like so they're always in every meta, right? There's always supports where you're like yeah, I could pick up that support. It's okay for this game, but at the same time, there's other heroes that are better, right?
Yeah.
It's like why would I pick up this hero over this hero? And so Phoenix is that way for me. Like Phoenix needs levels, right, to
Yes.
really be effective. And then like yeah, if you get like a Meteor Hammer, it makes you doubly effective. But like for the most part, Phoenix is just basically like you just need levels. So it's like, well, how are you going to get those levels? Well, it's hard to get them as a support. But then if you put him as a core, it's like all that farm is sort of lost on Phoenix. It's not like there's power spikes. Other than when he gets levels. It's not like you get a power spike when you get this item, for instance.
Yeah, well that's what makes a good support though. Does a good support need power spikes? Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like his only power spikes are coming through leveling. It's not through items.
That's what I thought made a
So-
good support though, right? Was a power spike through levels, not through items.
Yes, but he's so level dependent that, like Witch Doctor, right? Like Witch Doctor level 3,
He can
Good.
kill people.
he can
Yeah.
kill people. I mean, level 1 he can kill people. Phoenix is not that way. Phoenix needs like 6 levels basically to be effective.
Too long to
And
come
it
online.
needs them early.
Yeah.
So it's the rate at which you're getting levels too.
Yep.
So, but I think I think that's a cool trick that you can do that. I hope they don't fix it.
I assume it's gone because a team fight happens, and I'm super low on health or whatever as a support. That's like I can still throw in that nuke and hopefully stun some people. I don't know if people see the visual impact of the Meteor Hammer coming down. The enemy does. I assume they do.
No, I don't know.
If they don't, then it's super good.
I think you do.
Because then
I
you
actually
could
don't.
Treant or Ricky them with a Meteor Hammer, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ricky doesn't pop out of invis, right, when he's channeling.
Yep.
Yeah, neither does Treant. Yeah. So I mean, you can do it while you're invis. Maybe you don't see it then.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I
All right, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. We gotta figure out how long we want to keep these, but I'm signing off.
All right.